flex with all the shooters. Shorty, all you gotta get ahead of all my shooters.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy 3MG. We are back with another video. Now, before we actually get into the topic, I need to ask you guys this question. I would like to read, maybe your answer in the comment section below. But I've been playing COD since Call of Duty 3, but this has been extremely annoying since maybe over the past 5 years. Every time I get Call of Duty, you start up the multiplayer, you end up choosing one of the default classes, and for the most part, they got some beastie guns or a beast class setup, right? Like, for example, I'm using the Swordfish in this gameplay. I kind of went off, and I'm playing on one of the old maps, which is Jungle, but I'll get right back into that. The point is, I'm playing with a default class, and they have some of the best setups. In my opinion, it is so annoying that once you hit level 5, you go back to that bum-ass custom class, which has some of the worst weapons at start. Now, don't get me wrong, for the most part, other Call of Duties, you have maybe a dope-ass weapon in the beginning, but no, let's keep it all the way real. It's annoying that we have to grind to level 5 to unlock this custom class, in my opinion. Do you guys agree with me or not? I hate having to use a default class, and then when I finally unlock this custom class, I got nothing but shitty ass setups. And I know you have to grind to unlock shit, but that's not the point that I'm trying to get at. Anyways, though, what I'm trying to say is, why don't you just give us one custom slot when we start up the game with, of course, a small selection of guns? This whole default class shit be catfishing me, because when I be going off, I'm like, bet. But then once they take that shit away and we start using a custom class, y'all be playing doodle. Now let's get back into this video. Now, I know I told everyone I was not going to play the base multiplayer. I said, screw that. I got this for Blackout. And yes, there are people who buy games for specific reasons. I wasn't really looking to play any of the multiplayer except for Blackout and possibly Zombies, of course. But I seen that they had Jungle, Slums, Summit. If I'm not mistaken, maybe one more old map. But I know for certain it was Slums, Jungle, and Summit. And I decided, you know what? Let me go ahead and, jump on the TDM real quick. Maybe I can jump in one of those matches. And it took a couple of matches until I was able to actually get into Jungle. Now, Jungle's a Black Ops 1 map that I enjoyed a lot. And jumping right into that, I used one of the default classes, which was the Swordfish. And I'll be real, that's probably one of the best weapons in the game. Here's the point of this video. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, with its base standard maps that has nothing to do with any of the old maps being brought back, in my opinion, is kind of trash. And I feel like it's because the types of characters we have to we choose and the class setups don't even make sense for the map, or maybe it's just the maps itself. Maybe these class setups are great. However, the way Call of Duty and the way these studios design the maps for these games, either something's gonna become too OP, and in this case, okay, a weapon could be OP. We dealt with Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 has some of the most OP weapons known to man. However, some of the specialists, for example, I forgot homeboy's name, but he has the razor wire. They still didn't fix it to where you could put multiple razor wires, or at least maybe shit, if you have two teammates that use it, it's so OP and it takes so long to shoot it down to actually, destroy it. The fact that one of them, I forgot his name, I call him Julio, yo, no racist shit, but homeboy with the orange hair highlights or whatever, why is it he has pretty much a scavenger type ability when we have the perk scavenger? And I'm gonna be honest, this is Call of Duty, this ain't Rainbow Six. Once we jump on TDM and we spread out, we ain't really gonna see each other anymore. Now, I understand there's other modes, of course, to take into consideration, but even with Hardpoint, even with other modes, a lot of us use Scavenger to begin with. And it depends, maybe the rotation of the perks. Maybe you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna use Scavenger this match, so I'm gonna pick this specific specialist with this. If you're really good with class setups, maybe it can work, to your benefit. But at the same time, some of these maybe these abilities with these specialists don't really work well with the base maps. It's crazy how the old maps like Summit, Slums, and Jungle, I play phenomenal. Now, you can say it's because I have muscle memory with the map layout and maybe I remember the design, but no, I just feel like they were better designed than the new maps now. I feel like there's so much extra going on, so many crevices and so many corners, so many doors and everything in these new maps that you're creating pockets for head glitchers. And especially now that it's so big that this is happening on your screen, your gun could be above the barrel, right? For example, you're behind a barrel head glitching. Your gun is above the barrel. However, on my end, I can only see a little bit of your hat or your head. So as I'm trying to shoot you, I can maybe even shooting that barrel, but on your end, you're a little bit above it and you can actually shoot me and clean me up. There's a lot of that going on the regular maps of Call of Duty. However, with the maps that were brought back, I do not experience that. So I'm just like, yo, man, there's something obviously wrong with this game and it's really frustrating. I don't like the complaint of you shoot first, die first. It does happen. It's always going to happen. But I just feel like the base multiplayer in terms of TDM, hardpoint, domination, maybe, you know, search and destroy is really fun. Control, I heard, is okay. And heist is pretty fun. I just jumped onto that. But everything else just feels so like weird and bare bones. Let's not forget, this Call of Duty is extremely bare bones. They're gonna drop a huge ass update where we're gonna get a new UI, we're gonna get the supply drops, and anyone who thinks there's no supply drops, you're bugging out. They haven't really spoke on it because why? They're not stupid. They don't have to necessarily speak on something specific until maybe the day before or even hours before, and then they could put out like a tweet or a Reddit post saying, hey, we're actually gonna bring this back. And why they did that? Because they know they can generate good sales that way. The idea that, okay, we're not bringing supply drops, or it was, you know, said that there wasn't gonna be any supply drops, no one, you know, people weren't really freaking out. Now they're like, okay. And then when people bought the game, they're like, oh shit, maybe we can earn all this stuff regular. No, you know what they ended up doing? They decided to push the game out bare bones as hell with nothing, pretty much, in terms of supply drops, unlocking certain stuff, and that's all now gone until they bring that update. You got skins, of course, with the guns. They brought the paint shop day one. You know, World War II for some reason took extremely long to bring it, if they have already or haven't already. But they're not dumb. Blackout is extremely bare bones, just like the beta. You know, a few fixes here and there, but everyone assumes like supply drops aren't coming. Yes, they are. If you was able to pre-order this game and get COD points, obviously that's where I'm coming at. But playing the multiplayer on some of the old maps, I had a great time, especially that class setup. If we're able to, you know, really just grind and get out of this bullshit and get those specific class setups, that's gonna be super fun. But all in all, my first impressions on Black Ops 4, I personally feel like on the base multiplayer, it can be solid if they just brought back every Black Ops 1, 2, World at War map, perhaps. Maybe World at War can work. But if they brought back all the old maps, I feel like the new map designs just never work, man. I just feel like it's always one-sided. And also the spawning in the game reminds me of like Infinite Warfare. It's very bad. I do not like how the spawning is in this game. Remember, they said they're making tight, close quarters combat maps or medium-sized maps. However, the equipment that's able to be used in the game, the type of characters and specialists that we have in the game, is too chaotic. In my opinion, it's way too chaotic. And the spawn system is just terrible. Like, when it comes down to that, that's really my biggest issue. But when I play on the old maps, I'm having a great time. The spacing is great. On the multiplayer side, I got a separate video on Blackout. I'm going to talk to you guys about Blackout. But as far as the multiplayer goes, that's just my first impressions. Overall, I feel like the game is a solid game, which is surprisingly enough that I'm saying it, because I was doubting the whole game. But the multiplayer is solid. However, what really makes that game going can be the maps, and the map design is just very poor in my opinion. So yes, I feel like the weapons, obviously anyone can cook with any weapon. I'm gonna be real with you. Let's stop complaining about weapons. Maybe the amount of weapons, the variety of weapons is not enough. But let's stop acting like weapons are a problem. You can be OP with a weapon. This always happens with Call of Duty. But overall, I feel like with the map design, that needs to be fixed. You guys can give me your opinions on the weapons, the class setups, or perhaps the streaks in, you know, that you feel are maybe too OP or not. I feel like what needs to be addressed first is the maps, excuse me. But yeah, it's your boy 3MG. If you guys agree with me, whatever, or disagree, hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. Comment your thoughts and opinions. Personally, let's keep it honest. This is specifically on the multiplayer portion of the game, not Blackout. I got a separate video for that. But until then, it's your boy 3MG. God bless everybody, and I'm out. Peace.
You're still looking like the baddest thing that I've seen. Inflated before it started flattening. Way before the singer rapper thing started happening. We were playing checkers. I was just trying to get back to King. I miss blacks in the windows on your whip looking.